Garcia.
There he is, Garcia. What a talent, what a prospect. And this is only his 11th professional fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big warm welcome to viewers throughout Ireland joining us live and exclusive on RTE Sport. We're here at the University Arena in the beautiful city of Limerick. We're on Hunky Dory's fight night. Our sponsors, Hunky Dory, with Brian Peters Promotions, proudly present a night of championship boxing. We begin with an international light heavyweight contest scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. Between and introducing firstly, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with white. He hails from Orlando in the United States of America, weighed in at 12 stone, 12 pound and 5 ounces. He brings with him a 35-fight professional record consisting of 28 wins, 21 coming by way of knockout with 1 draw and 1 loss. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a former 2-time WBA super middleweight champion of the world, Byron Mitchell.
So how much has he left in his tank? He's 36 years old.
And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, formerly from Cuba, now fights out of Cork, weighed in at 12 stone, 7 pound. He's undefeated as a professional, 8 wins from 8 contests. 6 of those wins, ladies and gentlemen, coming by way of the big knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting from Cork, Luis Garcia.
And he's but 22 years old.
Our officials this evening are appointed by the Boxing Union of Ireland, the timekeeper, Mr. Alex McKenzie, the referee for this contest, Mr. Mickey Van.
One of the most experienced referees in the world, Mickey Van.
You know the rules, obey my commands at all times. Break when you're told, take 1 step back. No naughties with the head. Shake hands, pat your corners, good luck.
Simple as that, isn't it? How often has he said that? Well, another chance to see Garcia up against real opposition. A man who's been there, done that, run the block several times. 11 years ago, the world WBA champion, Byron Mitchell. First punch of the fight from Garcia, that left hand.
I'm just wondering, Jimmy, how much. Oh, that's a cracking left hook from Garcia again. Opening 2 shots, real good cracking punches. 1 a left hook, 1 a right hand from Garcia. But I'm just wondering, Jimmy, how much Mitchell has left in that tank. You know, I know he's an absolute world-class fighter. There's no doubt about that. 2-time world champion. Had quite a lot of world title fights, but how much has he got left in that tank? That's the question that has to be answered, and we'll know after 2 or 3 rounds what way this fight's going to go.
He's been in a lot of ring wars. This is the 36th fight of his career. 1 for every year of his age. And of course he wasn't fighting when he was 4 and 5, or 1 and 2 and 3. Left hand looking good from Garcia in the early stages. Interesting side head approach. It's a characteristic of Mitchell. Look at that, the leaning head.
Let him go.
This is a real big step up in class for Garcia. You know, this is the first class, world class fight that he's fought. So this will let us know how good Garcia really is, because I know he's unbeaten, but he hasn't fought anybody of any note, Jimmy. You know, he's been fighting sort of hand-picked opponents the whole way through, which is natural at the start of your career, but this is his first real test.
No doubt about his ability. But now the opposition is stronger, better, wiser, more experienced, and 14 years as senior. Good right hand there. In fact, it's a good flurry altogether from Garcia. And most of them have been getting through. And that's against an experienced man with a very experienced professional guard.
Head out, Louise.
That head hanging to the left from Williams makes you think that he's got a muscle short on the left-hand side of his neck, but it's just an idiosyncrasy.
I can tell by the way Mitchell's moving here, Jimmy, that he's what you call a short fighter, because his movement's not as good, his legs are stiff, you know, his whole body's pretty stiff. He's not the fighter that he was by no manner. He's what I would class almost as a short fighter, which is commonly known, a commonly known word in the world of boxing, because he doesn't move the way he did or once did. You know, he's stiff, he's rigid, and he just doesn't have that world-class movement anymore. But he still can punch. That's one thing you don't lose.
Say they never lose. You never lose the punch, and he certainly didn't lose it there. Garcia has certainly won the first round. He's looked good.
Good stuff from Garcia. That was a cracking left hook. He's a good, solid puncher, Garcia, but Mitchell seems to have a pretty solid chin, as his record suggests. But he just isn't moving the way that he moved like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. He's pretty stiff, he's pretty rigid, and he's finding it hard to get his own punches off. You really think that his timing was off completely, which happens to fighters who overtrain or undertrain.
Or being beaten up too often.
Or being beaten up too often is exactly right.
This man has the future, like all of us, ahead of him. Nobody has a future behind them that I know. But he's looked good, Luis Garcia, when we've seen him. But as Dave Boyle McCauley has said already this evening, this is real experienced opposition. There's really no exceptional return coming from Mitchell at all. Now lives in Alabama.
Get the arm out, Byron.
A slammer from Bama. Hasn't looked as if he's going to slam tonight. But as we said before, you never lose the punch, but you do lose the ability to make the opportunities for it. And Garcia's living in his skin here.
Hey, let him go. Get off his head.
Let his head go. Clear instructions from Mickey Van. And Mitchell taking a knee, and his eye is hurt. He's not playing possum, as the Americans might say. And then they say a lot of things. But certainly his eye is the cause of that.
See his double in the eye.
And he's saying, I don't feel too good.
Let the dog have a look.
I think he's... Dave Boyle McCauley thinks he's a shot fighter, and maybe that's his way out tonight.
Well, Byron Mitchell, in my eyes, Jimmy, wouldn't have done that 10 years ago. You know, fighters who have world class, no matter what you do to them, they'll get up and they'll fight back and they'll fight on, regardless if their arms are hanging off, their legs are hanging off.
It's over. It's over. Yeah. He didn't want to know. And in fairness to him, Dave Boy, you're on the mark as usual. A shot fighter is a beaten fighter. But he was hurt. There's no doubt he didn't lie down and take the money. But as you say, years ago, he would not have done that, you can believe me.
No, years ago he would have been still there. In fact, he'd been given Garcia like a harder time 10 years ago than what he did tonight. But I could tell by the way he moved at the start of the fight, the way he was rigid, he was stiff, you know, he wasn't the same relaxed that he normally would be, because that means, what it proves is when you see that in a ring, you know that the fighter's well past his sell-by date, and that's what Mitchell was tonight. But listen, he's had loads of experience. Nobody knew that it was going to be as quick as this, not even Garcia. Nobody expected this, but he's been hit loads of good shots there. But those punches wouldn't have had the same effect 10 years ago, because they're not devastating punches, but they're what you call hurtful punches.
And accurate. Yes, another good night for Luis Garcia, the big man from Cuba. Big, happy-looking man from Cuba. having a little private conversation with Mickey Van, to which we're not privy. And now here comes the cut eye as the officials. Mike Goodall.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 51 seconds of round 2, the referee has called a halt to the contest with Byron Mitchell having sustained a damaged left eye. Ladies and gentlemen, leading the winner, Luis Garcia.
Shorter fight than he might have expected. Perhaps a shorter fight that may have been useful for him.
Byron Mitchell.
The slammer from Bama. I'm afraid it's going to slam nobody this evening. Cut right across the lid of his eye. And he's gone. Adrian.
Thanks, Jimmy. Luis, very, very impressive.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this fight now because my opponent, I know, is very hard and famous as well. And he was champion of the world 2 times, so for me, it's a major victory, you know.
And to beat a 2-time world champion in the manner which you did, that's a real statement from you, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, it's a big step, you know. So we'll see in the next fight who's coming up, you know.
Clearly, the goal for you is to win a world title. How much further down the line is that for you?
I think for the world champion next year probably, is for me it's very soon because I'm in good condition and I have a good coach and my mindset as well is very nice. So I'm happy, you know. When everything is happy, the things going all right, you know.
So watch out, world.
Sorry?
Watch out the world, eh? Well done tonight.
Thank you very much.